Have you ever spotted McDonald's hot, crispy fries right as they're being scooped into the carton? And time just stands still. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
I'm sorry, is there something funny?
Yeah, because he's lying.
That's not funny, though.
I don't like that.
This is the plaintiff, Stephen Kennedy. He says the defendant, his younger brother, stole some money from him while he was in need of it most. And no matter what happens here today, the pain he feels from this will always be with him. He still finds it hard to believe his own brother would actually steal from him. But hey, life goes on. He just wants the judge to rule in his favor, wants his money, and then that will be that. He's suing for $5,000, the amount he's due. This is the defendant, Eric Kennedy. He says his older brother, the plaintiff, has been back and forth to jail since the 90s, and he's been the one who takes care of his needs while he's away. He's really shocked by this lawsuit and his brother's false allegations that he stole from him, because nothing could be further from the truth. Bottom line, he took squat from him, and after this court hearing's over, he's not his brother anymore. He's accused of failing a family member.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Stephen Kennedy.
Yes.
You are suing your brother Eric Kennedy for $5,000 that you say he owes you, part of that in pain and suffering, and part of that the balance of a check that he cashed in your name that he has not repaid to you.
Yes.
Tell me what's going on.
Well, in 2007, in January, I was incarcerated for 4 years.
What were you incarcerated for?
Domestic.
What was the actual charge?
Assault 2.
With what kind of weapon?
No weapon.
What kind of damage to the victim?
Let's see. Broken nose.
Just a broken
Yes.
nose. Okay, just broken nose. Okay, go on.
And during that time, I had a lawsuit come in from a job injury.
Okay.
And I had my brother to take care of it and had the lawyer sign him over the check, which I have a copy of.
You mean you had him cash it and
Yeah.
do what with it?
To periodically send me money while I was in there.
Okay.
And for a year or so and a half, he was sending me money. Then he stopped taking my phone calls, wouldn't take none of my letters, and just stopped. So as that went on, and then my family was writing me, telling me that he brought a car. Then when I finally did talk to him, he broke down and told me the truth that he messed the money up. He gave his girlfriend $1,000 to fix her car. I'm gonna take care of you. So, I'm waiting, and
I'm sorry, is there something funny?
yeah, because he's lying.
That's not funny, though.
I don't like that. You're right, guys.
Go ahead.
So, all this went on, and while you're in prison, you don't eat well, you don't get clothes or change of underwear and stuff like that. So I went through hell. Then I lost my sister, our sister, during that time. He just left me hanging.
Did your brother visit you?
No.
Did anybody visit you?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
But when I got closer, when I got out and went into the halfway house,
Right.
he finally came to see me. I asked him to bring me some clothes and stuff. He comes with some cheap boots and a couple of shirts, and gave me $300 in cash. Then after that, I didn't see him for a while again. And then when I came back home, he says, I'm gonna take care of you, this and that. And the years went by and by.
Well, did he tell you, I messed up? Because he had already told you by phone that he had messed up.
Yeah, he told me, face to face, I'm gonna take care of you, bro.
All right, and then, so now he tells you, I'll take care of you.
Yeah, so now he gets the lawsuit in for $26,000. bro, I got your money. I'm going to pay you.
I think everybody needs to stop relying on lawsuits as a form of income, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying that's how he said he was going to pay me.
Okay,
So,
and that was how many years later? When did you get out of prison?
I've been out now about three years.
Okay.
And
So
when
he just
got-
recently scored a lawsuit?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
And
So that's why you're suing him now?
Yeah, because-
As opposed to in the last 3 years when he also wasn't paying you? Because you feel that now he has an ability to pay you
Right.
back what he owes you
Yes.
and hasn't?
Yes.
Okay, let me hear your side.
Yes, ma'am. He's wrong. I've been taking care of my brother, I'm the baby. I've been taking care of him since 1990. I don't want to deal with the phone calls. I don't want to do all this stuff for him. When he got his money, I've been dealing with him for 16 years with all his money.
But did he sign over a $4,900?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And I send him I send money. I've been sending money for the last 16 years. He's been locked up every time.
Okay, so your testimony is that you sent him $4,900 and whatever dollars, the entire amount, to the commissary during his incarceration.
It was only over 4,000. I gave him 800. We came home. We got out. We finally got out. He had $800 left.
Okay.
But I'm trying to figure out.
But over 4,000 to the commissary.
Oh yeah, cause I sent him.
Do you have any records of what you
No,
sent?
I have no records. I sent him over. He know I sent him over. He kept when he first got that check to me. He kept asking for $500 a week.
He was asking for you to send him $500 a week?
Yes, ma'am. Every time he was in prison.
Okay, but stop.
Yes, ma'am.
Your testimony is that you sent him over $4,000
Yes.
to the commissary.
Yes.
And when I ask you for proof that you sent the money, your answer is, I don't have it because what?
Because I don't need to prove he's my brother. I've been doing this for 16 years for him. I never kept none of the stuff I've been sending him. I
Okay,
never
and
did.
when you say what you've been dealing with, helping him out as his little brother,
Yes.
you're referring to dealing with all the phone calls. What do you mean, that your brother calls you from prison?
No, yes, I dealt with all that. I dealt with sending him money. Nobody else in the family took his calls but me. I was the only one.
Okay, do you have a printout from the Department of Corrections as to how much money went into your account?
Yes, I do.
May I please see the printout? Why don't you just have him send the entire amount to the commissary, and then whatever's left over you would have been taking with you when you left?
Well, I figured he would do the right thing.
Why? Why would you risk your brother? Did you grow up together?
Yeah.
Yes.
In the same household?
Yes.
So you know him, right?
Yes.
Okay, so is this surprising?
Yes, it is, because he never was like that.
He never was like that?
No. I mean, he's a
kidding.
little selfish, but I never thought he would do, what he did.
Right, but wouldn't it always be safer to have somebody, or does a commissary not accept that kind of cash?
Oh, yeah, you could have that.
So why wouldn't you just say cash a check? Why don't you tell your lawyer to cash a check and just send it over?
To be honest with you, the lawyer told me to not do it. He said leave it here with him, because he heard family members, get crazy with money. And I was, but
why didn't you just have the lawyer cash and send the whole thing to the commissary? Then it's your money and you carry it with you.
I could have done that too, but I didn't.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yeah, excuse you, right? Because I'm looking at the commissary report,
Yeah, I
and
see
according to them, the only thing that ever went into his account was $1,520.
Something ain't right about that, because he know I sent over $500 every time.
No. Oh my God, believe you were my lying eyes. I'm seeing the report by the Department of Corrections.
I understand that, though, but I don't want to be dealing with for 16 years. I never took money. I've been working, so I can't take
Okay,
money from somebody working.
sweetheart, listen to me. I am looking at the printout from the Department of Corrections.
I understand that, man. I got the same thing.
So what, they're lying to you?
He's lying.
They're lying to me?
No,
not he. Connecticut is lying to me.
Okay, ma'am.
I'm asking you, what is your premise?
The premise that
they're
that's
lying.
wrong. They wrong.
Connecticut's in cahoots with your brother.
Ma'am, that's wrong. I something more than that.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. If your brother stole money from you, would you sue him?
No.
Why?
Because he's my brother.
He stole money from you.
I'd steal it back.
Okay, good, Carrie. Would you sue him?
Yes, to teach him lesson.
To teach him a lesson. Would you sue him just because you're angry and you want to get the money back? That's the question. Anybody feel strongly?
If I was angry, yeah, I would definitely.
Would you be angry if your brother stole money from you?
It depends. What reason would he steal it from me? But
well, how can it depend if he steals from it for you and you're not angry?
Well, what is he?
Good question, huh?
Yeah, that's next.
Yeah, that was a good one. Going inside the courtroom.
I've been doing it for so long. Why won't take? I've been working. I had a job.
Maybe
so I
you
can't
think
take
you've
his
been
money.
doing it for so long, but you're a little disorganized. I'd like to think that's it, and not that you're just completely stealing from your brother.
I would never steal from my life. Why I want to steal from my brother? I've been working.
I don't know. I'm wondering the same thing myself.
That's
when
my-
I see that you say you sent $4 and they say you sent
I've been
$1,500.
working all this time. You've been locked out. I always have my own job.
What am I supposed to do with this, my friend?
Well,
which completely supports what your brother says.
Well, in that case, then I'm gonna sue him too, then, because that's not right. That's wrong. I'll be honest. That's wrong. He's wrong. I don't need his money. I have my own money. It's the best I can tell you right now. I've been
Black
doing
and
it so
white,
long.
right here.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what this paper says?
Yeah, I see
it
it.
says two things. It says that you, Eric Kennedy, only sent $1,520.
You got more than that.
Was it always you who sent it?
Yes, ma'am. I'm the only one in the family that dealt with him.
Okay. So that you, Eric Kennedy, only says two things to me. That you, Eric Kennedy, sent only $1,520. You know what the other thing it says to me is? That you stole from your brother.
I never stole from my brother in my life. Why am I stealing from him? I always work. Always had a job. Never knew nothing from him.
According to you, after you got to the halfway house, he brought you $300 and then an additional $100. If your brother's such a big fat liar, why would he give you another $400 credit when he's telling me what happened? That shows me that it has a ring of truth.
All right, if you think I stole it, then okay. I know I never stole his money. I take it to my grave.
No, I think that the evidence shows you stole it.
I'm looking around because I know he got his money.
How are you going to look around? What do you mean by that?
I don't know, man. I just try to keep calling the court there, try to figure out the system up there. I'll figure something out because I know he got his money. I don't need his money. My life is okay. I don't want to sue for distress and aggravation too, though. He put me through.
What stress and aggravation did he put
calling my phone every day, harassing me, doing this day. That's not right. When he was out of jail, he never complained to me. Never complained about no money. All of a sudden, 2013.
According to him, you had the full discussion with him when he was at the halfway house about how you'd screwed up.
No, we just talked. Nobody that didn't even come out. I brought him money for himself. That was a 2-hour ride. I didn't have to come out there to see him. That's the point. I was the only one to visit him.
Well, okay. You may feel in your heart that when you visit him or when you pick him up, that somehow that's worth cash.
No, it's not cash.
But it's not.
Not cash. I didn't say it was not cash.
It's not. It's not. And you may be right that after this, you two aren't brothers anymore. I hope not.
No,
but after you may be right. You may be right.
I'm not right.
When you're wondering about why that is, I hope you look at this stuff.
Well, go to the Bible then. We'll go to lie detector and find out if I'm wrong or not.
You're looking at a lie detector.
Nah, that's not me, man.
You're looking at a lie detector because I got to tell you, when the evidence is so different from your recollection, I'm going to go with the evidence and not your recollection. I find in favor of the plaintiff in this case in the amount of $2,975.78.
Well, the defendant left the courtroom and did not want to speak to us here in the hallway, even though we offered. So you come out on the winning end of this case, but do you lose for winning here?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't lost my brother. I still love him. That's on him, what he does. At the end of the day, he's still my brother, and I love him. But he did wrong.
Mm-hmm. Why would he do this to you?
I have no idea. He's just, I don't know, maybe he's losing his mind.
Are you going to reach out to him?
Yeah, sure I will. But, if he doesn't want to talk, that's okay.
Right.
Life goes on.
All right, over to Harvey then.
Especially if you live in a big city, there are these family counseling services, and some of them low cost, some of them actually free, that can basically help you sit down and mediate family disputes. You should do some checking online, because if they're in your city, a lot of them are real good. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
This is the plaintiff, Dominique Roberts. She says the defendant's daughter is a bully and has been picking on her kid in daycare for months now. The 8-year-old girl stole her daughter's glasses, maliciously broke them into pieces, and then took her Nintendo and threw it into the toilet. The woman refuses to pay for her child's immature antics, and she's here suing for the $672.57 she's owed. These are the defendants, Michelle Hussey and her daughter, Elizabeth Morrison. Michelle says her children used to go to the daycare run by the plaintiff's mother, and she admits there were a few mishaps which occurred there. Problem is, the kids were not properly supervised, so she can't seem to get a straight story about what actually occurred and what didn't. Since the kids were left to their own devices, and sometimes kids will be kids, she doesn't feel like she owes the plaintiff a thing. They're accused of some unruly behavior.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant's daughter is a bully who is absolutely malicious with her girl, including breaking her glasses. Now, the defendant says the problem is school supervision. It's the case of school classes and broken glasses.
Dominique Roberts?
Correct.
You are suing Michelle Hussey and Elizabeth Morrison. Who's who?
I'm Michelle Hussey.
Okay.
And I'm Elizabeth.
Okay, and you are her mother?
Yes.
Alrighty, for $672.57, almost $400 of it for eyeglasses of your
Correct.
child that were broken, and the rest of it for the Nintendo DS that was also broken, and 1 day's wages. Tell me what happened.
Okay. I get home from work. My mother tells me that Elizabeth dug her nails in my daughter's arm. See my daughter, I clean it off.
Wait, what's to clean off?
It was like white meat. It was bleeding prior, but I wasn't there. My mother cleaned it and put a Band-Aid on it. But so then they go on to tell me that Elizabeth got mad at my daughter.
The same day?
Yes, this is the same day. Got mad at my daughter over one of the other kids that were at the daycare named Damien, saying that he likes my daughter. My daughter's 6. She's in 1st grade. So she took my daughter's glasses and she snapped them in pieces.
Wait, what is the premise that Elizabeth got mad that the boy liked your daughter?
She said she was mad because the boy likes my daughter, Lily.
Okay.
So she broke her glasses.
Who is telling you all this stuff? Because you're not present. Who's telling you?
The cook.
Come on up. Is the cook here?
Yes.
The cook for
the daycare.
What daycare is this?
Lily's Playhouse.
Okay.
My mom owns the daycare.
Is your mom Lily?
No,
but she owns the daycare.
Lily's my daughter.
I don't even know. Okay, so you are the cook for the daycare.
Yes.
What does that mean? How many kids are in the daycare?
The child care. It's about 10 children.
Okay. And what did you witness?
I witnessed a lot of things.
Why don't you just tell me about what she's saying?
Okay, well, I witnessed Elizabeth constantly picking on Lily and several other kids, and they're much smaller than her, as in size and height.
Did you see the glasses
Yes,
incidents?
I did.
Can you please tell me what happened with the glasses?
Incident. Okay, so Lily had the glasses. I said, "Oh, those are beautiful glasses. Go ahead and put them away."
Why are you telling her to put them away?
Well, she was modeling them for me.
Okay, so go on.
And so she took them off, put them back in the case. The kids were doing activities. They were actually coloring, doing some arts and crafts. Elizabeth said that she needed to be excused to go to the bathroom. When Elizabeth came back, everything seemed fine and normal. And then Lily goes to get her glasses. In the area where she put them away at, she finds them broken.
So you didn't see Elizabeth break them?
No, I didn't see her.
Okay,
so
did somebody see her break them?
So when we started talking, investigating, first I said, "Elizabeth, did you break them?" She said, "No, her little brother Matthew broke them." I said, "Matthew, did you break the glasses?"
How old's Matthew?
I think
3.
How old's Matthew?
He's 3.
Okay, go on.
So I said, "Matthew, did you break them?" And I gave him a demonstration. Did you break them? He said, "No, Elizabeth." So then I said, "Elizabeth, why is Matthew accusing you for breaking the glasses?"
Matthew's 3. Okay.
So,
but go ahead.
So she was like, "Can I talk to you?" So we go over to the side and I say, "Well, what is it?" So she was like that she broke them. And I said, "Well, why?" She said, "Because the boy Damien likes Lily." And I'm just like, okay, but if someone likes another person, you can't really, stop them from liking. I was, trying to explain to her. And so she said that she was sorry, she wouldn't do it again, and that she was going to be good. And so I said, okay.
All right. Now, did anybody tell Mom this story when it happened?
Yes. Her mother was spoken to and was given my phone number.
Okay.
She never called me. The next day I saw her mother. Her mother apologized to me and said that I will pay you back for them. Just bring me the receipt. I'm going to have to give you money each week out of my check to replace your daughter's glasses. So then days go by, her daughter comes to daycare. She's like, "My mom's not fixing the glasses because you won't remember." She said, "You won't remember, so she's not paying for them." So I looked at her, I'm like, okay.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, so I said, okay.
Did you say to her, your daughter says you're not going to pay because I'm going to forget?
She said, we told her Your daughter said that you're not going to pay. I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay. I'm going to give you a little bit each out of every check during the week. Okay, so April comes. My daughter, she has her Nintendo 3D XL. She says, I have to use the bathroom. Okay, so she sits it on the table. All the kids there, the people that work there that are watching the kids are sitting there. Elizabeth takes the pen, writes on my daughter's Nintendo, and runs straight to the bathroom and throws her Nintendo in the toilet.
What does she write?
She just I have it here. And this is, when you open it, you see the water damage.
And then she throws it in the toilet?
She threw it in the toilet. And here's the glasses that she broke also.
Okay, so how, did your daughter see her Nintendo in the toilet?
Her brother goes, "Oh, Elizabeth threw Lily's Nintendo in the toilet." She's like,
where are the adults when this is going on?
They were sitting there when it was happening.
Why aren't they seeing it happen?
She saw it happen.
You saw that happen too?
She saw it happen when it went into the toilet.
Why didn't you stop her before she put it in the toilet?
When she ran to the toilet, it was too late when she was running to it.
Why don't you stop talking and let me talk to the person who was there? What happened?
Okay, so due to the fact that the daycare is attached to like a home, you can see where the kids play, but there's like I would say like a small little distance walk for them from the main area to the bathroom.
Why is somebody not watching the time it takes for her to take a pen, write on it, then pick it up, then walk to the bathroom, then dump it in a toilet?
I was actually, on that particular day,
in the toilet. Okay. Thank you.
I was sitting down where we prepare the snacks and the meals.
Okay, I got you. Now, where's everybody? All the other adults? How many adults do you have for 10 kids?
It's 3 adults.
Where's everybody else? Where's your mother? Where's your mother? Is your mother here?
She's not here today.
Why isn't your mother here?
Because she has to do her daycare.
No, I just I think after the glasses incident, I might watch this one a little closer or tell her you can't come back.
Can I see them?
Yeah.
It was so many incidents that we had let slide, but it just started to build.
Right.
Her children were a menace. You know, these were.
When did you tell? I assume your mother tells her you got to go.
Tells her, okay, she tells her right away about the Nintendo. She says, okay, I'm going to go on eBay and get the Nintendo. I told her, okay, I show her it. I told her, you can replace it and I'll give you the Nintendo that your daughter threw in the toilet. She said, okay, that's fine. Me and her, it was fine. We had a conversation.
Wait, she hasn't paid you a penny. What's so fine?
No,
How much time is passing while all this is going on?
When we talked about it.
When did you buy this?
The receipt's there.
Okay.
And the receipt for the glasses are there too.
Okay.
She got a copy for all of this.
Okay.
She told me, you know, I'm trying. I'm going to replace the stuff. This is what she said. Now, her daughter comes to daycare. She says, my aunt told me to beat Lily down to death. This is exactly what she says. She says the clown's in her head.
My what?
Her aunt told her to beat my daughter down to death.
Her aunt?
Yes.
And then what did you say about clowns?
And then she turned around and says, the clowns in my head is telling me to kill the kids. I have ADHD, so I get away with whatever I want.
Did you witness her say what you just said?
Correct, yes.
You were present?
We were all there.
When she said to you, I have ADHD,
yes, she
I get away with whatever?
Her mother tells her she has ADHD, so she can get away with whatever she wants.
You witnessed her say that?
Correct.
What's going on, honey?
Well, the key witness would be the litigant's mother, who runs the daycare center. She was the one that reported any incident to me and explained what happened. I never got a straight story from anyone, and because...
Okay, did you say you'd pay for the glasses?
I said once I received the bill and figure out what put the puzzle pieces together.
There's no puzzle pieces. Did you talk to your daughter? Here, let me put the puzzle together for you. Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Have you had some problems over there?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what happened with the glasses, honey.
I was gonna take a nap, and on accident, I put my feet up, and then I was stretching out, and then the glasses fell.
From where?
From under the blankets.
They were under the blankets?
Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't go into an eyeglass case to get them, to break them?
No.
Who did you tell that, you had broken them accidentally?
I don't really remember that.
You don't really remember? Was it her? Yeah?
Yes.
And when you told her, did you tell her about them being under a blanket?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
Did your mom talk to you that night about what happened with the glasses?
Yes.
And what'd you tell her?
I told that all the time they blame on me.
Right. You feel like they're picking on you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, tell me what happened with the Nintendo, honey.
It has to be somebody else. But I don't know
You
who.
you didn't write on the Nintendo and drop it in a toilet?
No.
Do you know who did?
No.
Sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Did you say that you saw her do it?
I just seen her run into the bathroom.
Where are all the
but I
witnesses who were
didn't- I
watching the
didn't
kids
know.
who weren't? I want to see. There have to be people who are watching the kids because it's a daycare. Now I want to know the people who are in charge of watching the kids, where they are when this is happening in slow-mo, and I want to hear their testimony that they saw it happen.
My mother watches the kids. Now, my mother couldn't make it today. I apologize about that.
Okay, if she's the witness, you needed to stay home and she needed to come. If not her, then who else? Where are the 3 people who are supposed to be watching the kids?
One's on vacation, the other one's doing daycare now with my mother at the daycare.
So the witnesses were left behind, but you came?
No, I came because I was trying to get my daughter's stuff back. I wasn't
Well, I
here for the
understand, but
daycare.
I don't
and
understand why you
that.
don't bring me witnesses. Close down the daycare today. Give a notice
Yes.
to people that you
That's
know,
understandable.
You know, she didn't really see her do it. She just saw her run, so we assume she did it. The
And then
child
she
says
didn't-
she didn't do it. And there's apparently, there better be 3 adults, I say, because there's supposed to be supervision.
There is supervision in that
Does she have
daycare,
H-
and they
does
never
she
have a problem at that daycare.
And is she taking medication or no?
Yes.
Okay. Did they tell you about the purported statement about hurting other children?
Yeah, which I thought was absolutely absurd.
Sweetie, did you say something about clowns in your head?
No.
So, if there's real bullying going on, is it the school's fault, the parents' fault, or the kid's fault? What do you think?
It would be the parents' fault. The school can't watch everything. I mean, they can't assess.
Yeah, but the parents aren't there. It's the school that's there. Whose fault? Parents, kids, or school?
I would say it's the school's fault. The school needs to have the appropriate discipline to keep the kids in place.
What do you think, ma'am?
That's true. I think the school has to support the parents as well.
Okay, fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
They kind of flipped out over there over whatever statement was made.
Right.
So there had to be something said, honey.
And unfortunately, nobody, knows what was said.
No, there's got to be somebody telling you, can you believe your daughter X? Somebody's telling you that.
Right.
So who was it? Her mom who told you what was said?
Yes, her mother. Her mother is the one that always told me.
And what did her mother tell you was said in front of the?
She just said something like, Elizabeth said the voices. It's okay, baby. The voices in my head are gonna tell me to hurt people, which she's never said anything like that. And when she finally did say, okay, you can't be here anymore, I said, what about the days when I hear Lily's gonna pull her hair or do this, or when she's come home with scratches? I said, your daughter's no angel. And no joke, Your Honor, the litigant and her sisters, they all cornered me and started to name call me and chase me off the property. So.
Yes.
And I have a scratch right here.
Who made that scratch?
It had to be Lily.
Why did it have to be Lily?
Because.
Was it Lily or wasn't it?
It was.
Okay. Did you scratch Lily? Tell me the truth. Don't lie to me.
Yes.
When did you scratch Lily? Or why did you scratch Lily, really?
Because she made me mad.
And she made you mad, why?
She, keeps hurting me, pushing me and stuff. And smacking me with her purse, her play purse.
I guess it was a mutual thing. They didn't like each other.
Okay.
The daycare
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. Let me say a couple things. Parents are responsible for the things that children do just in certain circumstances, okay? And the certain circumstances are very specific things, none of which are present here because the person in charge of watching the children is your mother. She's supposed to be watching the children to stop things from happening. And we pay daycare's money to supervise our children.
It's not that. It's when you're watching one kid, if you were there to see her kids, you have one that's spitting, kicking, throwing himself on the floor. You have the other one throwing stuff over here. This one's trying to chase this one. You have this one over here hitting this kid.
How is she going to control her children when they're in your mother's care? Yeah.
Elizabeth and I, we had a really good rapport.
Yeah.
So, she would come to me and I would give her one-on-one or spend more time with her and talk to her, so.
Did you ever talk to your daughter about the Nintendo?
Yes, I did.
And what'd she tell you about it?
She said that she didn't do it. And what I had gotten play-by-play from the litigant's mother. And what she had said was that Matthew was in the high chair which mind you, he's 3 years old. He shouldn't even be in a high chair. And he had to go to the bathroom. And then one of the workers went and turned her back, took the tray off the high chair. Matthew climbed out. And as Matthew was climbing out, going into the direction of the bathroom, she was concerned about putting the tray back on the high chair rather than helping my son in the bathroom. That at that time, when the tray was being put back on the chair, that's when Matthew, I guess, snatched the Nintendo DS, goes to the bathroom unsupervised, come back, and she goes, look, water damage, when he comes back from out of the bathroom.
What did you want to add to that, Elizabeth? Do you know whether Matthew broke the Nintendo or put it in the toilet? Or
I saw Matthew, go in the bathroom.
Did you see him with the Nintendo?
No.
Okay. Do you know if he had it or he might have had it?
He might have.
Okay. All right, here's where we are, folks. I am concerned about two things. The eyewitnesses are not here to tell me what happened. Because even with your testimony, I broke them could be the way she's saying, which wouldn't be her fault. It would be the fault of the person who's playing with the glasses and showing them off and whatever else. And I think it's calculated that the person who's the witness is not here, because I think that I might be hearing something different than what I'm hearing here. And I cannot have you march into court, have 0 witnesses, even though there's supposed to be 3, and then tell me, oh, and by the way, it's the children's fault, as opposed to that she entrusts the children to 3 adults who are supposed to be watching the children, and apparently they're not watching what is going on. Okay? My verdict in this case, for that reason, is for the defendants.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the defendant wins this case in the People's Court. Step out here. The plaintiff comes out on the losing end of this decision, and maybe the witnesses should have been here.
Well, don't worry. I'm going to take this back to another court because this is ridiculous. This is something that your child did to my daughter's stuff, so therefore you need to pay for it, and that's it.
It's a really tough job. The adult child supervision is a tough job.
They were being supervised.
Could it be done a little bit better?
But there are supervision.
So, I mean, it is supervision there. It's just her kids are a menace. They're a mess. So.
There's supervision.
Kids are kids. Kids are kids.
You're absolutely right about that, but supervision.
But it's on a repeat
There is
basis.
supervision.
Okay.
And not only that, my mother couldn't be here. If she could, she would.
All
She's
right.
getting ready to go into surgery, so
Good luck to her. Good luck to her.
But
Hope she feels better.
everything
Head
will be
right down
okay.
there. All right. So the judge rules in your favor here. What's your reaction to the outcome?
I'm happy with the outcome. The whole case was about lack of supervision. I may not have perfect children, but with the daycare knowing that I had behavior problems in the past with them, I would have thought that they would have paid extra close supervision. And I may have said, okay, I'll pay, but once I thought about it and once I, collected all the data and tried to piece everything together, it just didn't add up.
All right. So your job as a kid is to have fun and try not to get in trouble, right?
Right.
Okay. Harvey? So the plaintiff says that she's going to take this to another court. Guess what? She can't. This is binding arbitration, which means she gets one bite of the apple. That's it. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the plaintiff, Elton Ferdinand. He says he gave the defendant a good faith deposit for a 5-foot metal shipping trunk he said he had in a storage warehouse. But when it came time for him to deliver on his promise, the trunk was only 3 feet long. When he asked for his money back, he was told there were no refunds. Huh? He doesn't know what type of scam the defendant thinks he's running, but he's not going to allow him to get away with it. No way, no how. He's suing for $3,000 for the cost of the trunk and aggravation. This is the defendant, John. He says he told the plaintiff he doesn't make stock trunks 5 feet in length, but he would be happy to special order one for him from the manufacturer. The plaintiff was very happy, plunked down a $60 deposit, and the trunk was ready for pickup in a week. The plaintiff then told him he changed his mind, wanted a cheaper one, and is now suing him for $3,000. Is this guy crazy? He's accused of being 2 feet too short.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff gave the defendant a deposit for a trunk, but it wasn't the promised size, and he can't get a refund. The defendant says the plaintiff just wanted a cheaper trunk. It's the case of your trunk is junk.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Elton Ferdinand?
Yes.
You are suing the company the defendant works for. You've asked us not to use your last name or the company name.
Correct.
For $3,000 because you gave them a $60 deposit and they won't return your $60 deposit, and somehow magically that mushrooms into a $3,000 lawsuit. Tell me about it.
Okay. A friend of mine told me that years ago he bought a trunk from this store. So I went there. I said, look, I'm interested in a 5-foot metal trunk. He said, look, we don't sell these things often, but I have at least 3 of those trunks in my warehouse. I said, okay, bring one up from the warehouse. I'll come back and take a look at it. The salesman, not this gentleman, he said, look, as in good faith, leave a little something, I deposit something for this trunk. So I left $60.
Did you get a receipt?
Yes, I did.
May I see the receipt?
That's the receipt. And the arrangement was that I would call them the next day, which is a Monday, and he would tell me for sure whether or not they have this trunk that I need.
Okay, now the $60 that you left as a little good faith
yes.
actually says absolutely no cash refunds on any exchanges, no refunds on deposits, no credits on credit cards. All right, so
No.
you give them $60. The trunk costs $300, plus there's tax or whatever, so you have a balance of $266.70 that you're supposed to pay them. When did they finally tell you we have the trunk, or they never had the trunk?
They never had the trunk.
And then they still, even though they couldn't fulfill your order of a 5-foot steel trunk,
yes.
they would not give you back your $60.
Yes.
Now, I suspect you have a very different story.
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's your story?
Okay, Your Honor, he came to our store on April 7th. He needed a trunk size 42 by 22 by 22. We explained to him we do not have it in stock. That's a custom order that needs to be ordered. We could have it by April 18th. He agreed. He left the 60.
How come that's not on the receipt, though?
There's 2 receipts that were given to him.
Let me see the other receipt.
Here you go.
Hand it to my
There you
baby,
go.
please.
Thank you, sir. Those 2 receipts were given to him. And I have pictures of the
Just a
trunk.
second, please. Why are there 2 receipts?
Because this was a special order, Your Honor.
So what? Why wouldn't you just all put it on one receipt? And why are the receipts not consecutively numbered?
Well, this was a special order.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're going to doctor up evidence, at least do it in a decent fashion. You need to marinate the lie so I can down it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I can't just down it dry like this. This has one number, and this has another number, and they are not consecutive. He didn't get 2 receipts. This is manure that you are telling me now to try to put everything on a receipt that you didn't put in the first receipt.
Mm-hmm.
That's making me angry. Okay? Why aren't they consecutively numbered if they were 2 receipts given to the same customer in the same transaction?
So, plaintiff suffers maybe a couple $100 in damages. He's suing for $3,000. Does he lose credibility, or is that just part of the game? What do you think?
I think he loses credibility. It sounds like he's just out to get more money.
And does that mean his case isn't as good as if he asked for the honest amount of money? What do you think? We haven't gone to you.
Yeah. Always the same as her. She just wants extra money. That's all. So.
Well, okay, fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Your Honor, that's a separate book we keep for special orders. And that
Really? Why don't you just write special order where it says trunk on the only receipt that I'm sure you're going to testify you got?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
That's
okay.
the receipt.
Go on.
May I just say?
Yep, go on.
I asked him, I said, could you put on the receipt the size of trunk that I'm asking for?
Why don't you just go like this and put 5 right there that it's 5 foot? Why didn't you?
That's what I had asked him to put
I
on
don't
it.
think you asked him that either. I think
did.
that you both deserve
Okay.
each other.
Okay, now.
I think that's what's
Now,
going
Your
on.
Honor, the next morning, after he told me he only had a 4-foot trunk, I said I could go online and buy that same trunk for half the price.
So you came in.
Just a second. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Sorry.
He said, okay, come and get your money back. So I went there the Thursday, and then This gentleman told me that the salesman who wrote that receipt, he's not there, and that he doesn't know anything about the transaction. I would have to come now on Sunday when the salesman is normally there. So I went again the Sunday now to get my money back, and there was an older gentleman there who said, look, I could get this trunk for you. I am going to special order this trunk for you. I said, hold up a second. You told me you already have this trunk. I don't want you to special order anything for me. He said, okay, I'm going to refund you your money. I get there
so
now.
So you
on
get
the
there,
Sunday
and now
now.
Dad's not there.
Dad's not there. He's there.
Okay, and he's not quite as accommodating.
He said, look, we don't give money back. This is the first time I'm going to hear that they have this policy.
Well, no, Dad, I don't know why. There's none so blind as he who will not see, because the stamp on your receipt says we don't give money back. Here's the thing, though. Even when you have a policy of no refunds, if you can't produce the item, then you've breached the contract and you have to give a refund. So this all boils down to whether I believe that you could produce the item.
Yes.
Which really depends on my believing your credibility. Mm-hmm. Which you're having a little bit of a problem with so far.
The trunk was ordered, Your Honor.
Because you know and I know that this second receipt is something you guys just made up for court.
Not at all, ma'am.
Who wrote out this receipt?
I did.
Oh, so you're the guy who messed up.
Okay. He did not write that receipt.
So you're the guy who actually messed up and didn't write anything on the receipt?
I did.
And you say he's a liar.
Your Honor.
You didn't deal with him until the note came. Give him back
Honor.
his $60. You don't get pain and suffering $2,000-something. You get your $60. Okay. You get interest from the moment that you should have gotten your $60, and you get your court costs. So you are made whole, all right? And the satisfaction of winning.
So the plaintiff has won this case for $60. You lost it. What's your feeling on this outcome here?
Well, it wasn't fair. I mean, he ordered the trunk, we have it in stock, then he changed his mind. And then he's suing for $3,000, and that shows he's a crook.
What's with the doctored evidence?
There's no doctored evidence. He was given 2 receipts.
From 2 different books?
No.
And why weren't they consecutive again then?
They were consecutive.
Oh, all right. They were right down there. I guess the judge must have gotten that one wrong. All right, so step on in here. Yes. Nice job, $60. You win your case. You satisfied how this comes out?
Yes, I am satisfied. I figure he's going to be out of business in at least a year with that kind of behavior. And the thing is that his operation that he's got, it's like a Sanford and Sons kind of thing. It's sheer junk in there anyway. You know, I wanted a
love
trunk.
That show.
I mean, what are
you doing suing for $2,940 in aggravation? What is
I
that?
wanted to get his attention. I was hoping that he doesn't show up and I get full judgment, and then I go there with a sheriff or something and take some of that junk that he's got.
All right, right down that way. Harvey?
You know, a lot of people do this. They always sue for pain and suffering. Fact is, you do not get pain and suffering for breach of contract. You only get it in personal injury lawsuits.